Right, back home in South Africa, sitting with Colin Nathan.
No. It doesn't matter. Firstly, Viva Hayden. How you doing?
Okay, I'll start off.
Yeah,
Viva,
Viva.
Colin. Back in South Africa.
Good to be home.
Good to be home. A long trip.
Yeah, it was obviously not the desired result we wanted, but an adventure. Definitely was an adventure. Highly frustrating at times, especially with all the paperwork, online stuff.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, phones, all that crap. Thank God we're home. It's just good to be home.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the results, obviously, it's talk of the town. Everyone's talking about Mthalane, his loss. People questioning your game plans, and all of that sort of thing. I mean, how have you taken it in?
Look, I mean, at this level, it's always sore. Like, you got to feel the pain, and that's pretty much what we're feeling. It's not easy. Maruti's a great fighter. Sonny had a great plan, and I still think, that the better man won on the night. But it's just a hard loss. It's a bitter pill to swallow. We've got to swallow it. I mean, that's life, isn't it?
And what about the people questioning your game plans?
Right. I mean, look. Obviously, when a fighter loses, everyone looks at the trainer, and I'm going to be somewhat dismissive of what they're saying, and it's like this. Hayden, what's this? What is this?
It's a boxing.
It's a boxing. Can I turn this into a tennis racket?
No.
Okay, thank you. All right. So I'm going to leave it there. He did his best, and it is what it is. Obviously, we're going to give it a few days and see what the next move is. I don't want to preempt anything. And I think Maruti needs time with his family right now. And that's, obviously we moving on. I had to get back into the office the very next day. We got back and I already had some really interesting meetings. And it's just another interesting meeting tomorrow. But we got to get going. I mean, you can't sit and mope about stuff that happened. We lost. All the great fighters lose, unless you're Floyd Mayweather. But it's one of those things,
You know what really irks me is like a lot of the South African media publications have taken it out on Maruti instead of crediting Sonny Edwards, as a lot of the British media would obviously credit Sonny. But I mean, how good was Sonny Edwards?
On the night, very good. Very, very good. He surprised me. Look, it's it happens, his boxing IQ is really, really good. I mean, you've met him, you spoke to him. His IQ in boxing is really good. And he's a nice guy too. And I like the fact that there was, you kind of think, well, maybe they're passing the torch to a point. And like I'm saying, it just depends on what Maruti wants for his career now. But Sonny's a really, really good fighter. He's really, really good. Very smart as well. And credit him. All
right, so moving on from that result, what's next for the rest of the gym? Coming up, you got to obviously move boxes again. Boxes got to get fights. We can't dwell on it for too long. What's up next?
Yeah, we've got Heikki Barteles and Bibi Kanko, Tristan Truta, head developments. Then we're also looking at doing a development tournament very, very soon. Like I said, I had a very interesting meeting yesterday, and I've got another interesting meeting tomorrow. So things are opening up. I'm still, again, very excited about the future. And just good to be home, good to be with the team again, good to be back in the office, good to be doing an interview with you in South Africa.
Yeah.
And not at the airport thinking, fuck sakes, another like thing we have to fill out, or literally being in a position where, are we going to make this flight? I mean, I think every time we literally went to the airport was like, and when we, like, have you done this health questionnaire declaration? I was just like, you've got to be kidding. I just want to get there. Now it's a question of after the fight, we just want to get home. So now obviously being very progressive, being in the gym with the fighters and working with them, and then obviously being in the office and doing stuff behind the laptop as well. So
while we were gone, actually, Lerato Glamini and Kanyile Bulana both fought as well on separate tournaments in 2 different countries as well.
Right.
Those 2 results for you?
The Bulana result was just, even now, I mean, guys still shake their head. I was like, what? It's just crazy, So Lerato workmanlike needed the rounds. I saw 1 or 2 videos of the fights. I was very impressed with, the workmanlike performance, and obviously getting the cobwebs shaken off and the ring rust and so forth. So, I was very impressed. Mthalane, I just think he was very unlucky. You know, it wasn't a conclusive ending. And I think in boxing, you know, you want a conclusive result. And that's why, like, when a fighter loses on a split decision, people are saying, he didn't deserve that, or, you know. But when it's conclusive, people can be accepting of it. So I think at the moment we kind of still not accepting of the result because of, you know, a guy. I don't know what he was doing in his fingers. Anyway, whatever. So kind of mixed bag.
Did an interview with you in Kanyile literally the day after the results. You did say that you were going to appeal. How far is the appeal coming along?
So I heard back from the IBO. I'm going to be working on it in the next couple of days as to what the next step will be, procedure-wise. So let's see. But I'm still, when I watch that, I just get so fucking angry. I do.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very unfortunate and unfair result because we don't know what would have happened past there. He would have, you know, it's a world title fight. Give the guy a chance.
Yeah.
The next thing was Lerato Glamini, just going back to him just to elaborate on his performance. Obviously 10 rounds to nothing from what it looked like. What's next for him?
There are a few things that we're working on. Can't disclose them right now, unfortunately or fortunately. But bright future, highly rated in BC. Let's see what the next move is going to be.
Good friend Cyril the Honk putting on a tournament. You mentioned 4 fighters earlier of yours that'll be on the tournament. I mean, happy that he's getting going now?
Yeah, he's genuinely a good hook. Viva to Cyril, and it's great to see young, fresh guys, fresh faces coming through. South African boxing needs it, you know. We need different faces. We need different avenues as well. And it's just great that Cyril's, you know, stepping into the promoter's role.
And like many fighters coming back after a sort of a long layoff because of obviously the pandemic, so that's obviously a realistic reason as to why. But bringing back fighters like Heki, Simpiwe, even Tristan and Hedda as well, who hasn't fought in a very long time, is that a difficult task?
Yes, and he's done a really good job. So the fact that he's doing it and he's put his money where his mouth is, so you got to give him respect and props. So, and also he's going to a venue that's got a lot of boxing history behind it. Boyson's Boxing Club is a historical boxing sanctuary, you could say. So many great fighters have been through those amateur doors, including Heki Butler. So it's just great to kind of be giving back to sports when the sport's in desperate need of it at this time.
And what of the Cape Town fighters who obviously will be returning back to the shores really soon?
Yes, because of Ramadan. So looking at getting Ishmael busy, getting him moving. And then obviously Abdul, we're just going to wait and see. If we can't get him a shot, because I don't know what's happening with Gingri and Mangata, they're going to drag the heels. We might have to give him a warm-up fight, keep him busy, and that's probably going to be on the cards too.
And talking about incoming arrivals from abroad, are you having any?
Next question.
Okay, next question. Right. Next question is Heki Butler, how close is he to a world title after this fight?
Right now, if we've got a world title shot, it would be irresponsible of me to say yes, because he needs this fight. He needs to get in the ring and shake off the rust. And based on how he looks, you know, shaking off the ring rust, let's take a look at that and see how he performs. Maybe another fight, and let's see.
Reno Liebenberg, I mean, since the big results against Rowan Campbell, obviously he wanted to have one more big one. Is there anything happening with regards to that?
Yeah, Reno was actually here this morning to discuss one or two options. And we're very close on doing a deal. That'll be our next interview ahead. Okay. So, I'll probably see you next week. Let's go, champ. Yeah, so I mean, there's activity. Things are moving, you know, things are happening. And then, of course, when I mentioned the development show, we're looking at, you know, Cats and Caden and bringing them in. Yes. It's important that the kids at the development level start moving as well. They are the future of South African and African boxing, particularly for Team Hot Box. So it's important that they start getting featured as well. And like I'm saying, very soon we'll be doing an announcement on them.
All right, so obviously you can't make any sort of commitments as to how many times a year like Caden and Cats would be fighting.
Listen, in an ideal first world country, you know, with networks and obviously things going, you'd like to get them out 5-6 times a year. It's not obviously feasible, possible here in South African boxing. So you're looking at about three times a year, maybe 4 times a year. But let's get the ball rolling first, and then it's obviously kind of evaluate thereafter.
You had a good look at him when we were overseas with Maruti as well, just to kind of see like work ethic, you know, that sort of thing. Did that open up your eyes?
No, because I already knew. I already knew. I already knew what I was taking on. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I think all the young kids in the gym have a bright future, you know, in South Africa. So just looking forward to them getting moving now.
So hopefully, you know, in a couple of weeks' time, whatever how long it takes, we'll hear of Maruti, what the next step is, and you know, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there've been calls for him to carry on because he still has it, and there've been calls for him to retire. I can't make that decision. It's going to be his decision. But you know, he's been an asset for African boxing, and he's still a great fighter. You know, still a great fighter.
Quick opinion: if he can't secure a world title shot, what do you think?
I think maybe it might be time.
If he can't.
If he can't.
Yeah.
I mean, getting into an eliminator, finding a 10-rounder.
For his level is not.
Yeah, it might not be worth it. You know, especially financially. So we'll see.
Did I forget anybody in this?
No, I think we covered everything.
But we'll get a few interviews of more specific things coming up.
Just tell me something, like on a scale of 1 to 10 now, serious talk now, real talk.
Yeah,
when we were going through the borders or trying to get our tickets, out of 1 to 10, how frustrated were you?
I was very frustrated. 10.
Out of 10.
10.
To the point where you wanted to use bad language?
Yeah.
Did you use bad language?
Oh, quite
Hashtag fucksacks.
Yeah, that one. That's the one, piece. That's the one. Cole, lastly, do you have anything you want to say?
No, it's just, I'm good. It's good to be home. Obviously, it's always an eye-opener going to a first world country, seeing how productions and shows are done.
Yeah.
You know, we got to stop thinking we're in a third world country. We got to start thinking that we're in a third world country, but let's think first world.
Got to update our mindsets.
Exactly. And you and I discussed this off camera a few times when we were traveling. And I think that's the key to success. I think that's going to be the future of South African boxing. Stop thinking we can't afford this. We don't have the rand dollar. I think let's think creatively because we can get it done. We might not be able to afford those big fights, but certainly we can build these fighters and get them into a position for these big fights, and then obviously branch off with opportunities overseas, etc.